Cartoons. Everyone loves them. Now, I'm sure when I said the word cartoons, a range of your favorite shows went through your head, with one of these cartoons maybe being SpongeBob. Did you know, SpongeBob is actually inspired by an older character Steven Hillenburg had designed. This character is known as Bob the Sponge, and was the host of a comic book Hillenburg used while teaching marine biology to the visitors of the Ocean Institute during the 1980s. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because that's what the theme of this video is going to be about. We're going to be looking at a few old animations that would possibly shape the most favorable cartoons of today. There's something so crazy about the fact that such unknown and obscure animations have the ability to evolve into a popular and well-known cartoon series. It just shows that with some thinking and effort, anything lesser can really progress into something amazing. And personally, I find that really cool. So once again, I figured that for today's video, we would go through some old animations and ideas that would eventually develop into the most iconic cartoons of today. Let's start the video off with one of my personal favorite animated series, Adventure Time, and take a look at a movie that may have possibly inspired the characters and some other elements of the show. The movie that I'm talking about being The Point from 1971. An animated movie directed by Fred Wolf and written by Harry Nilsson and Carol Beers. I actually learned the similarities between this movie and Adventure Time by accident while trying to finish an art assignment for school. I had been looking through images of Ice King on Google, trying to find the perfect picture to include for my Starry Nights and Adventure Time crossover drawing, when an interesting image caught my attention. This is the image that I had seen and is what looks to be a comparison between two different characters. The one on the right obviously being the Ice King from Adventure Time, and the other being a character who has an awfully similar appearance to the Ice King, but not too exact to be a straight up copy of him. The drawing itself also has a grainy and rough texture to it, something that would appear in a cartoon from the 70s or 80s, not something in today's time. After some further looking into what this image was and where it came from, I discovered the image had originated from a Reddit post, which was created by user Cogsdale on the Adventure Time subreddit. This post had included the image, of course, as well as a question reading, "Is the Ice King inspired by the King from The Point, 1971? Now, at this point the post had me fully interested, as this was something so truly random yet so fascinating. I haven't heard anything about this before. As this post was a question, I checked the comments to see if there was any type of answer, but surprisingly, with the 39 replies, I was left empty-handed. There wasn't really a full complete answer, only a few comments here and there saying that it very well could be inspired. However, there was one reply to this post which definitely stood out from the rest, with the reply being, "And the point is about a boy and his dog going on adventures." This was incredibly intriguing. Not only did the King from the film resemble Ice King, but the protagonists of the film also had incredible similarities to Finn and Jake. Oh well, not physically, but you know, boy and dog. Are these just coincidences? Or had the creators of Adventure Time really acquired their inspiration and ideas for the show from this old animated film? Eager to find out, I hop on the Goggle machine and search for my answer, and Adventure Time, The Point, 1971. Oh. Nothing. Not a single video, article, or website talks about the similarities between the two, which honestly surprised me. The only thing I could find was one article talking about how the Point could have possibly influenced the Ice King's appearance given the similarities, and that's it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't seen The Point and I also don't plan on watching the film anytime soon, as it honestly just doesn't look like something I would enjoy. Though I did end up watching the trailer to the film as I wanted to learn more and see if there was maybe anything else that Adventure Time had taken for inspiration. After some viewing of the trailer, I did end up finding some more things which could definitely be some inspiration and thought, which I will discuss now. The first thing I had noticed were the pointed houses spoken about and shown throughout the trailer, and how they strangely resemble the pointy snow-capped mountains from the Ice Kingdom. Though this could definitely be a coincidence, just like the other similarities I had been discussing before. Likewise, another thing I managed to find, which in my opinion is a bit of a stretch, are these little boys, who sort of in a way kinda resemble the penguins from Adventure Time. I don't know, they just give the same sort of vibe that the penguins have, but I'm totally most probably wrong. That was all that I was able to find in the trailer, and once again, I haven't watched the film at all, so if any of you have actually seen the film and have noticed more similarities, please let me know in the comments. To conclude whatever I'm rambling on about, there's no real answer to if Adventure Time had actually had some elements from their show inspired from the animated film. At the moment, it's either it is or it isn't, and it's up to you to choose what to believe. Now, what do I think? Well, honestly, I really don't know. All these connections and matches could most certainly just be coincidences, but it's definitely fun to think about the artists of the show getting ideas from this film. Now, with Adventure Time out of the way, let's talk about another popular cartoon loved by many known as South Park, and take a look at its two original animated short films that would eventually evolve into the show we all know and love today. These two short animations are named and go by the spirit of Christmas, but are both completely unalike, having a different story, changed characters, and a dissimilar art style. To separate the two, they are often referred to as Jesus vs. Frosty, 1992, and Jesus vs. Santa, 1995. Let's take a look and talk about the first animation made from 1992, known as Jesus vs. Frosty. This was a short film created by the men themselves, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, while they were students at the University of Colorado. This small project of theirs actually had a very small budget, with the materials and equipment used to create this animation being only paper, glue, and a very old 8mm film camera. The film would later premiere at the December 1992 student film screening, gaining many positive reviews. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me this is definitely a fascinating animation, as it really proves how much South Park has evolved. Just watching this short film and then taking a look to what South Park is now is definitely inspiring to say the least. Now, what is this short film, you may ask? Well, let me run you through it all. This story starts with 4 boys happily building and putting together a snowman, when upon finishing, they start to slowly put a hat on top of the snowman's head before, who I assume to be Stan, stops and interrupts the group, convincing them to not put the hat on the snowman.
Dude! What? Don't put the magic hat on the snowman. Why? Because if you do, he's gonna come to life. Cool. No, it's not cool. My sister in Minnesota put a hat on a snowman and it tried to kill her.
The boys, knowing what the consequences may be after listening to Stan, still do it anyway. After putting the magic hat on, the snowman comes alive, with it growing tentacles and a very spooky face. The snowman then takes hold of one of the boys, who seems to resemble Cartman, and ends up throwing him, leading him to his death. After this incident, 2 of the boys rush over to Cartman's body, with one of the boys resembling Kenny and the other who I'm guessing would be Kyle, although he doesn't really have any similarities at all. The Kyle character, after gazing upon the body, says a version of the famous line, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny," proving how long this famous quote has been getting used for.
Oh my god! Frosty killed Kenny! Oh my god, they killed Kenny!
What's interesting about this part is, that boy is not Kenny. That's Kenny there, and the boy that has been killed is Eric Cartman, meaning that Cartman used to be Kenny. After this, Stan comes over and starts arguing at Kyle, saying how he proved him wrong and should have listened to what he had to say.
Dude, I told you not to put that fucking hat on Frosty's fucking head, now didn't I?
He just shouted at me down the microphone.
Come down, Snubby Hospitality, I'll come out my house and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick!
After some yelling and arguing, Stan spots a character in the distance who may be able to help put a stop to the snowman. The 3 boys rush over to the character, who appears to be Santa. They begin pleading and explain to him the problem that they are facing. Little did the kids know that this was just an epic prank and wasn't actually the real Santa Claus, merely just a snowman disguised as Santa. With the snowman's trick being successful, he grabs hold of one of the boys resembling Kenny and tosses him away, resulting to his death, leaving only 2 boys left. When all hope seems to be lost, the boys find Jesus, who ends up saving the day by getting rid of the snowman's magic hat and puts an end to the destruction being caused. With the episode coming to an end, the Kyle resembling character says another reoccurring line from the South Park series.
That sucked. I'm sure glad that's over with. Yeah, but you know, I learned something today.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with. Me too! Yeah, but you know, I learned something today.
The 2 boys come to realize that the true meaning of Christmas is presents, and the story comes to an end with the boys going home to find their Christmas presents hidden by their parents. And there you have it. That's pretty much the first time South Park was made and shown. Of course, 3 years later in 1995, Fox Broadcasting Company executive Brian Graydon would pay Matt and Trey $1,000 to make a similar animated short he could share with his friends. Thus, the second Spirit of Christmas was born. What seemed like a simple short animation started booming to popularity, leaving Matt and Trey inspired to turn this small film into an adult animated television series. After some months of troubles and efforts, the South Park series was finally created. Now, with the video coming to an end, I would just like to say thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. This video was actually also going to include the original regular show animation, but this video was just taking way too long and I just felt the need to only use the South Park and Adventure Time examples. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.